Are you still manually hunting through spreadsheets to find a single piece of data? You are losing hours to a task that should take seconds. Most people think VLOOKUP is just a basic search tool, but in a professional setting, it's actually the engine for a full scale automation. Today, we aren't just practicing a formula, we are building three professional systems to transform your workflow: a dynamic product catalog for instant inventory lookups, a pro level HR dashboard to manage your entire team at a glance, and a billing engine that generates client invoices in seconds. By the end of this video, you won't just know how the formula works, but you will have three finished tools that do the heavy lifting for you. So grab the starter files from the description and let's dive in.
Quick heads up. This video is for those who already know the basics of VLOOKUP. So, if you are new, learn that first. Let's start with our first tool, the product catalog. Imagine you are a small vendor or small business owner who makes wooden boxes or cartons. You already have a master list of the product details like dimensions, category, rate, material, and finish. You can design a clean template for these product details just like this one. Here I have a 3D model. A few product views and fields for length, width, height, material, and rate. Now, in this template, you can simply select any product from the drop down list and all the other values update automatically. You can select another one and you see all the product details get automatically updated. You can use this template to show the product details to your customer or for your own reference also. And that's the magic of VLOOKUP. It instantly fetches the related details from the master list whenever you select any product detail. Let's build this together. So this is our starter template where I have laid out the basic items. I have linked this drop down list over here to this product detail sheet. You can simply select any item. Now we will apply the VLOOKUP formula. Go to this description cell where we will fetch the description for this product code from this master data sheet. Simply type the formula is equal to VLOOKUP. Then for the first argument, it's asking for lookup value. Simply select the cell F6 where the product code is lying. Simply lock this value by pressing F4 or putting the dollar mark. For the second argument, it's asking for the table array. Simply select the whole lookup range. That's from cell Q4 to all the way up to Y29. An important point to note here is don't forget to lock this range by adding $sign for absolute referencing. If you are not sure what that means, check out a quick video on cell referencing. Next, for the third argument, it's asking for the column index number. For this particular case, we want to fetch description that lies into the second column for this selected range. So the first column is product code and the second column is description. So we will type 2 here. And for the last argument, we will go for an exact match. And simply close the bracket and press enter. See, it correctly picks the description from the master table using this product code. Simply apply the same formula to all the other fields just by changing the third argument for the column number. I have placed the VLOOKUP formula for all of the fields simply by changing the column number. For volume section, it's looking for the third column. For length, width, and height, it's going for the fourth, fifth, and sixth column, and so on. And to display this length, width, and height, I mean these dimensions in the 3D view also, you can simply come over here and for this field, it's actually height, and you can simply type is equal to and link it to the height value. It will pick the height from respective cell. For the length section, I can simply type is equal to and reference to the E10 cell where length value lies. Here also you can simply select the length value, and for this particular cell it's actually referencing to the width. So you can see all the dimensions from here gets transferred over to the views. Now you can simply change the product detail and see all the values get automatically updated. So whenever you change the product name, all the values update automatically. This is how you build a quick dynamic catalog, perfect for showing it to the customers. But there's a small issue. You can see right now it's showing the whole list all the way up to the last element, furniture, packaging, carton. But if you add a new product to this master data sheet, let's say test case 1, and then go to this drop down list, you will see it's not appearing over here. Why? Because the range is not dynamic. So how do we fix that? Let's see that in our next example. So here's our second tool, the HR dashboard. This dashboard pulls employee details from a master table into this neat profile card. You just select an employee name, let's say Arjun Sethi, and all the other information appears instantly using VLOOKUP. We will also fix the limitation from the last example by making this dashboard dynamic. So it automatically picks the new entries from the master table. So let's start building it from this Stacker template. First, let's create our data validation list for the employee names over here in this cell using this master sheet. Simply select the cell, go to the data tab, into the data validation, select data validation, and select list over here. And for the source, select the range. And then click OK. You will see a drop down list populated with all the entries from this master table. But if you add details of a new employee in this master sheet, let's say John Doe, it won't appear automatically in this drop down list. You see, the last entry is Diksha Agrawal. John Doe is not appearing. To fix that, let's convert this master range into a table by pressing Ctrl T. Before that, let's first delete this last entry we have added. Now select the whole range and press Ctrl T. Select the My Table as header. This will convert this range into a table. Now create the same drop down list again in this cell H15. Go to data. And press OK. So you will see a drop down list. Now, if you add a new entry, let's say named John Doe. Now, if you come to this drop down list, you will see that John Doe is appearing over here in the drop down list. That's the benefit of using tables. They expand automatically and make your formulas dynamic. If you add another entry, let's say test case, even that will appear in the drop down list. Now, let's proceed with the VLOOKUP part. Simply go to this cell for gender details and type formula VLOOKUP and set the first argument lookup value to this name. Then, in the second argument for the table array, instead of putting the plain range like in the last example, we will put the type the table name. If I select the whole range, it automatically fetches the table name. For this example, the table name is table 1. So simply select this. And this table name, table 1. This name of the table instead of using plain range is what makes this VLOOKUP dynamic. And for the third argument, it's asking for the column index number. For gender column, it's actually in the third column. First, second, and third column. So we will type 3. And for the match type, we will select exact match. Simply close the bracket and press enter. Now this is giving an error not available. Why? Because we have deleted this entry test case from the master list. Simply select any other value and it correctly identifies the gender. Now if I enter a new entry, say test case, you can see it's also appearing over here. And if I simply select it, it's selecting the gender that's specified as test. So it's working perfectly fine. So that's how you make a dashboard dynamic and efficient. Simply apply the same logic to other fields and your HR dashboard is complete. So I have completed this tool by adding VLOOKUP formula to all other entries or other fields. Now you can simply select any name and you see all the values get automatically populated. So it's automatically fetching the values. Finally, let's look at our third tool, an automated invoicing template. This template automatically pulls product details, calculate total and taxes, and generate invoice instantly. So here in the next sheet is our master table where you have listed all the product with relevant details. And in this sheet, you can simply select any product. It will fetch the details automatically using VLOOKUP, enter the quantity. The moment you press enter, it automatically calculates the tax and the total value and updates the overall figures. So that's what we are going to build in this third and the last example. So this is a starter template. First, create a drop-down list for this product codes. All the cells have now drop-downs. Let's proceed with the VLOOKUP part. We will fetch the description value using this product code from the master list. I will simply type VLOOKUP. For the lookup value, select product code. And for the table array, select the whole table range. Don't forget to log this range by pressing F4. Otherwise, you will get erroneous results moving down the line. And for the column number, I will type 2 because description is in the second column. And for the result type, I will select exact match and press enter. Now if I simply drag it down, the formula has been applied. This VLOOKUP part is working fine. But there is one issue. If there is no product code selected like in these cells, the VLOOKUP is returning not available because there is no value to look up in the master table. But this doesn't look good in our template. So we need to fix that. Before proceeding to solve this particular not available error, let me first tell you about this rest of the fields. I have simply applied the VLOOKUP as I applied in the description field. I have applied over the all these columns. I have simply changed the column number. Here it's 3, for the next column it's 4, and for accession and tax rate it's 5 and 6. And now I can set up another formula to calculate subtotal by multiplying this rate with the quantity. And based upon the total and applicable tax rate, it will calculate the tax value by simply multiplying this tax rate with the subtotal. And finally, the running total will be calculated as this tax value plus subtotal. So this will give you the overall value of this first line item. So you can see 3400 subtotal, total sales tax 612, and finally the combined total is 4012. Now let's fix this not available error. We will fix this error using if function. So I will type if, shows you the syntax of this if function. It asks for a logical test, a value if the test comes out to be true, and a value if test evaluated out to be false. So if I simply type 5 greater than 2, which is actually true. So the value, if this test is true, I will simply type A, and if it's false, then B. If I close this bracket and press enter, you will see it has given A because 5 is indeed greater than 2. So this condition comes out to be true. So it fills the cell with first value. If the test comes out to be false, if I say 5 greater than 8, so in this case, this is false. So the cell will be filled with the value B. You see? So this is how if function works. We will check a condition that for our case is to check whether these cells are empty or not. And if cells are empty, we will simply put a blank value. And if cell is not empty based upon this condition, we will run a VLOOKUP formula. So the way we check if a cell is empty or not, there is another function is blank. Check this cell value. So this comes out to be false because it's actually not blank. So is blank evaluate out to be false. So if I simply drag it down, all the cells where the cells are empty, the is blank function is returning true. So by using this is blank function, I can check for the whether a cell is empty or not. So simply replace it with is blank and I will check for this first cell, and if the value is blank, if the cell is blank, I want it to return simply a blank text with no value. And if the condition is false, that means the cell is not blank, then I want to run the VLOOKUP formula that we have copied. That we have applied earlier. So now if you press enter, you see it has fetched the value. And if I simply drag it down, you can see it's behaving exactly the way we want it to. Wherever there is a value, it's actually fetching the value. And if the cell is empty, it's returning a empty string. If I simply select a value over here, it simply fetch the value. The same way I've applied this if is blank and the formula combination, the same will be applied over all the other columns, so that they get populated only when there is a value in the product code column. So let me quickly update all the formulas and we will get back to you. So I have updated all the formulas. Now you can simply select any value and it will fetch the details. The moment you enter the quantity, it will give subtotal, tax rate, tax value, and update the total and combined total also. So if I press enter, you see all the values get automatically updated. That's it for this video. If this helped you see VLOOKUP in a more practical, real world way, hit the like button. Download the project files from the description and try building these templates yourself. That's where the real learning happens. And if you want more Excel tutorials like this, make sure you are subscribed. I will see you in the next one.